Today we're at the big shop. I'm going to strip the blue donor car a little more. Going to actually cut a section of the floor pan out to correct for the strip that's missing in the bottom of Project0. And also contemplating either repairing the wrinkles in the roof on the Project0 or actually pulling the skin off of this one and transferring it over. Still undetermined on that. But we'll look into it a little further after we strip the car. Gonna get all the trim off, the harness out, all the miscellaneous items. I've got space in the shop today and time, so gonna take advantage of it. We'll see what we can get done. Hopefully get everything stripped out. And then I've got to get the glass pulled. Take a look at actually getting the roof skin off if I decide to go that direction. So we'll go inside here. Had the car brought in earlier on the forklift, and it's all set up on stands, nice and warm in here. So we'll find out what we can achieve this afternoon. Most of the interior, as you can see, is already disassembled. Got the carpet out last night. So we'll pull the door panels, the rear quarter plastics, and any other trim, and the dash as well.
Pull the inside door handle.
Not like modern stuff.
What? That should work. If it doesn't work, there's another problem. The rod trapped down. Oh.
There's no key. This is not a good thing. So we've got the dash disconnected, all the connectors under there, all the fasteners, it's ready to come out. Right now we have to get this harness, which ran through the engine bay. I've disconnected the headlight harness section, but this grommet going through the firewall has to be fed back through, and all of these connectors on this harness have to be fed back through because they're part of the main dash harness. So we're gonna push that through, hopefully doesn't get too tangled up in there. Just try and send connectors in individually, and that'll make life a lot easier. There we are, one Foxbody dash complete with frame and wiring removed.
get this going. Right on video, right on Instagram. Alright guys, so Mr. Notorious says he's going to finish stripping this car today to get the rest of the parts off it that he needs for his Project0 build, but he had to get a massage or chiropractor or something like that. So I'm going to get the rest of this stripped apart real quick. I'm even going to film it on his GoPro just so that he has some secret footage that he doesn't know about when he finally goes to compile all of that and post it online. Of course, where's the 10 mil? Oh, he's back.
What did you do?
Huh?
Oh, I see pieces on the floor.
Yeah, I know, and I even turned your camera on and did a little Instagram thing, like he's busy getting his nails done.
I try to sell those out to people.
Oh,
Fix
what
that,
did you
I
find?
don't remember for them, you know what I mean?
Gearbox is all.
What this part here that I picked up real cheap.
From him?
I'll show you. Just, fix
Something.
them,
I bet you just because, like when this shot.
Yeah.
Hey, you. Chris? Yeah, still though, I'm still waiting.
This is like
I think I've been waiting like five years maybe now. You know, we'll just go with 5 years. I don't have nothing. I got like an infamous project banner on my red truck, but no t-shirt. It's kind of weird. Strange. What? Honestly, you should have fixed this one. That would have done, like, that would have been perfect. If you straighten this one right back out, put her on the road, okay? With an LS. That would really up your fans.
Success.
There's one.
As some of you may have seen in my previous video, you'll know something that I'm super thrilled about is these two tools here, as I have spent many hours with them, and this sound deadener here, and now I get to go at it again. I have to clean all the sound deadener along here so that it doesn't end up catching fire with the plasma cutter, and then I want to clean up around here and try and get this panel off here. So found out last time the best part, or the best way that I was able to get it off, is with the heat gun. I know there's some other methods with dry ice as well, but this is what we have, so this is what I'm going to use. Hmm?
Your sleeve?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
No, what else for?
Peeling all the sound deadener off here so I can pull this piece off. Yeah. My favorite.
Yeah, but in the long run though, the white one you basically just got set on and it's ready to go. The red and white one, I gotta change the tank over and pull all the stuff and body work and all that stuff.
You love that stuff though, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I have so much patience that I love doing body work and pulling dents and sitting there sanding the same spot for hours.
Oh,
You know, yeah.
Patience is definitely like a forte of his.
This has come from the guy in here taking dead mat off with a chisel, and he's already done another whole car. So you're talking to the wrong guy about.
Yeah, man, I would have the plasma cutter out.
But I have to weld this one into the other one, and it's the spot weld. So
Did you not see what me and Riley did? We plasma cutted a Dodge cab and built a amazing hump. That was like some chip foo shit.
Oh yeah, it's disgusting.
Hey, that was a good job. That thing has Flex Seal on it. I did. I bought some Flex Seal from TSC and sprayed a whole shit.
Next up, what we have is actually going to be a bit of an exciting endeavor for me. This nice Victor Thermal Dynamics plasma cutter. I've never actually used a lightning scissor setup before, so I'm pretty excited. I'm going to start by cutting out the plate on the transmission tunnel, and then I can get at the spot welds on the back side and grind them away rather than drilling out all the spot welds from the top side. I think it's going to save some time, hopefully, and then I'm going to actually cut out the section of floor pan. So this is going to make life a lot easier. I'm pretty excited. Alright, so prepping for the plasma cutter. First things we have are tinted safety glasses. These are actually my torch glasses, so they are quite dark. Gloves. We have a blowgun in case of some small flare-ups. I have water if there's any more that the blowgun won't put out as far as any of this seam sealer. And then if all else fails, we do have a fire extinguisher standing by. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point. So I'm going to get this thing fired up and try out a couple small spots and see how it responds. I've got it grounded to the door latch check on the pillar here on the passenger side, and that should do the trick. So the first thing I'm realizing on this is it makes really, really easy work of sheet metal. It's just blowing right through it with zero effort. I need one of these at home. The amount of time you can save in fabrication would be astronomical, especially on something, a project the size that I'm doing. The only thing I'd say is just keep in mind where your sparks are going. Stand clear of it. And if you do have sparks coming back at you, try and wear some heavier protective clothing, something that won't catch on fire like cotton or resist the sparks a little bit more. I do have that if needed, and I'm going to keep going at this, and it didn't mind the seam sealer, and I should have this done in a minute. There's a couple spots that I missed. It's kind of hard to see without having a light. But we can fix that. That was nice. All right, onto the floor pan. Alright, so now that I've got most of the structure out of it, I don't necessarily want to be standing in the car because it will soften up as I cut the last two sides. So there's no point in adding anything extra there as far as stress, because we are just sitting on some jack stands, and try and make it as easy as possible for myself. So definitely not the straightest cuts. I would say having a straight edge that you could run along the side would be very advantageous in a situation like this, but I didn't bring one. So looks like we have a bit of understructure here. This bracket comes up and over, and it's still a little bit attached right along here and here. So I'll go over that again. And it's not looking like there's a whole lot left holding it in there. We have a bit of understructure in here as well. So we have two spot welds here into the front subframe, and there is 4 back here into the rear frame rail. I'm gonna just drill them out real quick, and the rest of this should come out. So not bad. Could also drill them here if you're looking to actually pull the floor pan out, depending on the piece of floor pan that you have, and then you can retain this seatbelt buckle bolt hole. Alright, so yet again, drilling more spot welds, because I haven't done that enough this week. So we've got 4 or so along the back edge here, actually attaching to the rear frame rail. So we're going to go ahead and start with them. Sometimes these spot welds are actually really hard to see. Got 3, I believe. One of the unfortunate things with these spot welds is there's no pattern or rhyme or reason. Sometimes they'll have two that are not in a line and they're really close to each other. And it doesn't make sense, but that's how they are. These cars were never built perfect. And you just got to work around it. One thing I forgot. The front edge of that frame rail has a tab that sticks out about that far. It actually goes between the back piece and the floor pan piece. So, for now I might just cut that tab off, take the pan out, then I can actually separate them enough to get that piece out when I'm back at the home shop, and then I'll actually have a perfect lineup point for the frame rail that's sitting in the car right now. Alright, so this is something definitely very new for me, since I've never even used the plasma cutter before today. So now we're going to do a little variation of cutting underneath the car. Oh, it's barely hanging on. And it's free. There we have it. One passenger side half floor pan. All right, quick little tech tip to make your life easy. Pulling studs. I'm sure most of you have done it before, but if you haven't, I'm going to show you a trick to make them nice and easy. 2 seat bracket nuts. So we've got 2 of them. Take our first nut, we're going to wind it down. Don't bring it all the way to the bottom. You can if you want, but it just makes it harder when you're taking it off, because, well, you're going to back this nut off and then it's going to be jammed against the collar in the middle. So take the second nut, install it on top. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to tighten the 2 of these together. So holding the bottom one and wind that top one tight. Then what you do is you actually just take the bottom nut. This one is seized, so this is a terrible example. There we are. Just needed a little more persuasion. And there you have it. One stud removed, and this one was even rusted. So then if we put the 2 wrenches together, you can crack the nuts loose, separate from each other, and then actually, because I had it so tight, these are not coming apart as easy, but they did come apart eventually. You may have to put that in a vise. It did end up going down to the rusted portion, so vice grips or a vise, pinch that off, and then you can just wind that other nut off. So, makes things a lot easier. No, this was a bit of a longer video, so if you're still watching, thank you for sticking around. There's a lot of time that goes into getting a car pulled up this far apart. Like, I've got probably 3 days into getting this done, so I really had to condense footage down just to show you guys what goes into it. Hope it wasn't too long, but you get the idea. All this is also happening at the exact same time as the Project0 build. The last video with the driveline removal, that was actually all happening at the same time as getting the car sandblasted and priming it. So the first night when we started pulling the driveline, I was actually outside for multiple hours that afternoon and evening cleaning out the sand, and then we went to the point of pulling everything apart. And the next day spent another 4 or 5 hours actually cleaning out the sand, vacuuming it out, blowing it out, sanding the car down, and then that afternoon we did the primer. So it's all happening simultaneously, and it's a lot of work. Stay tuned, there's lots more to come. Next week may actually include some non-Mustang content, so check that out. I forgot to mention it last week in the video, but 2 weeks ago the channel actually reached 100 subscribers. That's awesome. I'm really happy. Thank you guys so much. I know it seems like a small accomplishment, but you have to reach those small accomplishments in order to get to the bigger ones. So it's all stages and steps, and I'm really happy that you guys are helping me make it there. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave some comments down below on the projects that you're working on right now. Have an awesome and productive weekend and working on your projects, and I'll catch you guys next week.